Hi, everybody. Today we're talking about audio media, music, recordings, radio. This is chapter 4, the first part of chapter 4 from our textbook. So, in the early 20th century, radio was simultaneously in the United States and Russia. Popov and Marconi, at the same time, they created the radio transmission technology. So by radio and broadcast radio, we mean the use of a transmitter to send messages over a part of the electromagnetic spectrum to a receiver that will decipher, decode the message, translated into a sound wave, which can be used on radio or television later. So that's the definition of broadcast. And the first example of broadcast was radio. Radio was first used to transmit music, and audio transmits stories just as well as music, and that was one of the first uses of the medium. A brief history of radio in your textbook, starting from page 106, says that in 1906, Lee DeForest develops the first reliable transmission technology for broadcasting a human voice. Before that, about 60 years of discoveries were made. The lamp and electromagnetic lamps. The military was using radio technology, especially during World War I. And in 1921, a boxing match between Jack Dempsey and George Carpenter was broadcast for the first time, and that led to a widespread household adaptation of radio receivers. So now radio is a worldwide medium, and it's not going anywhere. I did a study with my colleague Charles Monroe to show that even with the advent of new technologies, radio broadcasting still remains alive. So here are some key ideas about audio broadcasting. This was the second major form of mass media to arrive after print, and the second most used form of mass media today after television. It's culturally important because it provides news and commentary, because radio can transmit speech. It's easy, it's quick. You can talk to someone over the phone, record the voice and record the information, and just broadcast it over the radio waves. And it's also culturally important because it transmits music and entertainment. So it does transmit cultural values and beliefs. And just like print media, audio industries are changing significantly nowadays because of new digital technology. So there are a couple of songs, a couple of sets of lyrics here for you, and examples of your favorite songs. How do you know about those songs? Is this something that you heard on the radio, or how did you learn about your favorite song? Was it during your childhood? Was it in middle school, high school, college? Do you listen to your favorite song when you're sad? Would you play it at your wedding? And which soundtracks do you love? So with these kinds of words, when we talk about our favorite songs, our theme songs, our wedding songs, we sort of acknowledge the fact that music plays a significant role, and radio broadcasting is one of the ways to learn about those songs, because you can buy a song, but unless you know about it, you won't really look for it. Radio as a medium that makes a selection for yourself, radio allows for discovery. So when you start your car, usually I hope that there is some radio channel on, and you can hear a new song, and you start choosing it next time when you have an opportunity. And that's why, broadcast media are great for discovery, because otherwise you would not know to go and look for the content that you accidentally heard on radio or saw on TV. So like print industry, recording and radio industries are going through massive changes because of digitization. So the recording industry, you know that it has a big history, long history. There are three major record labels. Universal, Warner, and Warner Music Group, and Sony Music, and they control the entire industry. And they were good moneymakers for a very long time. And they choose bands, they choose kinds of music that would bring them even more revenue. So because the music industry was all about making money before digitization, they chose the formats that found more popularity among audiences, particularly boy bands, starting with the first one, the Beatles, the very first boy band, the Beatles, and then followed by the Monkees, New Kids on the Block, Menudo, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and now we have, One Direction that now my, grandnieces, grandnephews are fans of, Jonas Brothers, and then we have young artists such as Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus, of course, the bad girl. So whatever is making money for the industry, that artist or artists, that entity becomes popular. So the recording industry thus becomes the sole gatekeeper of music, because they have all the technology, the studios for recorded music. They control the networks of distribution. They became the brand managers for advertising and promoting music to fans, and they schedule live concerts and tours to promote their artists even more. So market-tested music creates a taste for that specific kind of music, multiplied by advertising and promotion. It just overshadows all other music and takes away, sweeps away all the smaller artists that cannot compete with the large music industry companies, the music recording companies. And so that's why we keep hearing the same 10 songs over and over. We say top 20, top 40, the top 40 format. But among those 40, some of them really stick because those are the leading pieces by artists who are promoted by the music industry. Okay, so we will talk about the changes in the recording industry in our next conversation that's coming up in just a moment.